If I work out every single day, will I see results faster? The big question. Well, the human body's response to exercise, it's a very multifaceted process, and it involves muscular, neurological, and metabolic adaptation requirements. Every single training session will set off a cascade of changes, and hopefully they're aimed at the body's ability to enhance its efficiency and capacity. And we all know that these changes are not instantaneous. They are the result of a gradual adaptation process that's known as the general adaptation syndrome. The key to achieving your desired fitness level results in specified application of stress, which is heavily influenced by the acute variables, for example, frequency, intensity, and type of exercise that you're performing. And if you have an understanding of the dynamics, it really helps when you're designing an effective exercise protocol that aligns with your individual goals and your current capacity. Now, we should talk about muscle adaptations first, because muscle fibers, when they're subjected to mechanical stress during workouts, they experience microscopic damage, micro tears, and that damage, it's just a totally natural and necessary trigger for growth. It initiates a repair process that could lead to muscle hypertrophy, strength endurance, and power and force production, depending on your acute variables, how your program is structured. But this process, it requires adequate recovery time, and that's so often overlooked, especially in the pursuit of accelerated results. So now, we want to overload the muscles, but without allowing for recovery, that will cause a diminished return, and it would lead to overtraining. That's just simply characterized by decreased performance and increased risk of injury. But there are neurological and metabolic changes, right? A specific training protocol prompts significant neurological adaptations, such as improved motor unit recruitment. It can elevate your coordination, your proprioceptive response, your balance, stabilization, even mobility. And these changes are going to enhance the efficiency of movement and your overall performance over time. Now, there are metabolic adaptations that can occur that enhance the body's ability to use substrates for energy way more effectively. Now, these metabolic shifts, they will improve your endurance, your energy levels, your mood, but they do require time to present themselves and then stabilize to homeostasis. So I guess the real question is working out every single day dangerous? Now, yeah, I understand the notion of exercise daily could seem really appealing, especially with those eager to see super swift improvements, and social media doesn't help that. But the idea of a daily workout, I mean, it kind of conjures this image of accelerated progress and these rapid body transformations. You hear it all the time. But exercising without sufficient rest, it's just going to leave you super frustrated. Not only physiologically, but psychologically. It's a really good idea to understand how to tell if you are overtraining. And identifying overtraining involves just being observant of your physical and emotional indicators. For example, if you're constantly tired, you have prolonged muscle soreness, you're getting hurt, and you just feel like you're in a plateau and you're not seeing any performance improvements, that's just a sign. The symptoms signal that the body is not recovering adequately from exercise stress is really obvious. Now, there are some emotional ones like irritability, sleep disturbances, loss of motivation. These can also signal overtraining. And the emotional and mental signs are just as serious as the physical symptoms. So monitoring is an ongoing action, and adjusting your training approach will ensure that you're optimally recovering and you're constantly seeing a performance improvement. But it just comes down to the balance of frequency and recovery. So while daily exercise may not be inherently dangerous for some people, its safety and efficacy depends on individual factors like your own fitness level, your exercise intensity, and your general health. Now, all of these factors will determine how much stress your body can handle and what it needs to recover. Now, for a beginner, it's advised to incorporate rest days or active recovery days just to prevent overtraining and just ensure sustainable progress. You got to be patient. By the way, it could be low intensity activities. My favorite would be walking. Some people like yoga, but I also like mobility work, and they basically don't impose excessive strain on the body. Now, strategic rest periods allow for supercompensation. Then that's a phase when the body adapts to the stress of exercise by enhancing your overall performance capacity. I use strategic rest in my own training. I do 12 to 16 week undulations, and I know for a fact neglecting rest will hinder my progress. It ultimately is an impediment, and you can risk burnout. So the best way to avoid that is observation and periodization. And periodization is program design. It is the systematic planning of exercise variation, and it's a very powerful tool in achieving long-term fitness goals. It's basically the only way to see long-term progress. By alternating periods of high intensity with phases of recovery, periodization will help prevent overtraining, and it gives you that sense of like continuous progress because you're seeing results. Now, this approach ensures that the workouts remain challenging yet manageable and based on how you're adapting. So you need to tailor your exercise protocol to your individual need and your growing fitness level. Otherwise, you're going to just stall out. So personalized workouts. That's the only way to do it. It enhances your motivation, they're effective, and they make the fitness journey a lot more rewarding. Like I mentioned, I plan for a week or two of strategic recovery. I would say I'm on a 12-week cycle now, but I would change my entire training algorithm every 4 to 6 weeks as my body adapts to stress. I have a little bit longer adaptation window because of my fitness, but I hardly ever write myself a workout protocol that exceeds 5 or 6 days. I'm mostly aiming for 4 days of heavy lifting and then several days of active recovery. And that's usually my walking and core work. And I almost always have one entire full day of rest each week. And that leads me to nutrition. It's basically the fuel for recovery. It plays such a pivotal role in supporting exercise recovery and your adaptation quality. A very well-balanced food intake provides all the necessary nutrients that your body's going to need to recover and grow stronger. So consuming a balanced diet that is rich in both micro and macro nutrition, it's essential for replenishing all those energy stores, repairing the tissue, and it just basically is a catalyst for recovery. Adequate protein intake is a no-brainer. In particular, it's vital for muscle repair and growth. I would say that my final hot take on this is, to sum it all up, is you just got to strike the balance. And while the desire for rapid results is, that's a big social pressure too, and you hear all the ads, but it's imperative to recognize the importance of balance and recovery and be realistic about your return versus effort. I know it's alluring, these get fit quick schemes, but you have to have a sustainable approach. And exercising every day may not be inherently harmful for a lot of people, as long as, like I said, it's got to meet your current needs and your adaptation sequence. But embracing a more comprehensive approach that includes the strategic rest, you have a really good solid handle on nutrition, and you're tailoring your exercise protocols as you're improving and your performance improves, it just makes for a much better outcome. And recognizing that fitness is more like a marathon, it's not a sprint. And I just encourage you, be more patient and just be informed. Keep a mindset that fosters a healthy relationship with exercise. That way you can promote this lifelong. It's going to be forever. So take the time to rest, you recover, and then you get back into that workout and you hit it really hard. Keep increasing that intensity and just don't give up. Consistency is absolutely key. And remember, there are no shortcuts to fitness naturally. You have to put in the work. You have to also be willing to recover. That's it. So yeah, if you want to, and if you feel like you're able to, you could work out every day. However, it's not generally recommended.